Turn my camera off while I present to you today. So the title of today's webinar is, Does the government buy my product or service? For today's agenda, we will review what the government buys, some market research techniques, and how to get started. The government buys virtually everything, and these are just a few examples of what the federal government is looking for. So take a second to look them over. Getting a government contract can be complex. And the biggest difference between the private sector and the government market is the process you must go through to obtain local, state, and federal agencies as your customers. So be prepared and research the competition. Seek out available opportunities that are relevant to your product or service. The government wants to buy from small businesses because they provide new ideas for economic growth and job creation. Here are some contract readiness factors to consider when preparing your business to be contract ready. Do you have an established business, or are you just starting out? Have you prepared a professional capability statement? This serves as a resume for your business, detailing the scope of work you do and describing past performance you've completed. Have you set realistic goals to include your working capital, the ability to perform the work, and your commitment to follow through? If you believe you are ready and possess the characteristics discussed, the next step is to take a self-assessment. Do you have the goods and services the government is looking for? Have you done your market research? Are you able to provide a resolution to their problem? And what sets you apart from the rest? The most common way the government buys is through contracts. Firm fixed price is the price paid for the whole project and places maximum risk on the contractor. Cost reimbursement is paid after the work is complete and places more risk to the federal agency. Time and materials, when it's impossible to accurately estimate the duration of anticipated costs to be paid in agreed upon increments of work. And finally, indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity. This is when a specified quantity of supplies or service can't be determined during the contract period. The government-wide procurement goal for small business is 23%. Under that are subcategories, and they have their own separate goals. Some contracts are set aside for small businesses that meet specific requirements or hold certifications. The benefit of having these certifications is that you are given opportunities that you may not otherwise have. Woman-owned, veteran-owned, and service-disabled veteran-owned have to be 51% owned and controlled by the appropriate owner. The Hub Zone program is defined as a historically underutilized business zone within urban and rural communities. With Hub Zone contracts, the primary business has to be located in a Hub Zone, and 35% of the employees have to live within a Hub Zone. And the 8A is a 9-year program created to help firms owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Connect with me to learn more about the requirements of each program to see if your business is eligible. If you're ready for government opportunities, where do you start? Be prepared. Research NAICS codes. The North American Industrial Classification System is the coding system used to identify industry classifications by the government. You can have more than one NAICS code in SAM that identifies your industry, but you must select one as your primary. Research PSC codes. Product service codes are also referred to as federal supply codes. and they are used to describe the products and services and research development purchased by the government. Meet size standards. In order to qualify as a small business, your business must meet SBA's definition of what a small business is. Size standards are based on annual receipts to include affiliation, which means a business or third party controls or has the power to control your business and or the number of employees. Finally, register your business in SAM.gov and obtain your unique entity ID, also referred to as a UEI. Government contracts are a tremendous financial opportunity for small businesses, and the government is the largest consumer in the world. Business owners cite that the two top reasons for purchasing contracts is part of their overall growth strategy, and they identified specific agencies in need of their products and services. To get a foot in the door, it's a good idea to develop an outreach plan. Identify target markets. Start small with one or two agencies using different market research techniques. Consider contracting or find a partner to help build up your past performance portfolio. And set goals that will help you identify a few areas on which to focus your efforts. Familiarize yourself with basic contracting terminology. The U.S. General Services Administration, also known as GSA, offers a reference glossary that defines many terms commonly used in government contracting, such as request for information, which is formal process for gathering information from potential supplies for goods and services, a request for quote, which is when the government knows exactly what products and services they want, and request for proposal can help a government agency find the best solution for its needs by gathering bids. Here are some links for different types of market research that we will review over the next few screens. The Federal Procurement Data System is the real-time database for government contracting transactions and is free to the public. This system provides information about businesses that have contracts and lists awards they received. It's also a great marketing research tool that may help you determine what factors to consider when deciding who your top target agency will be. USA Spending is the official source of federal spending information. They track how federal money is spent in communities across the United States and beyond. You can click within the map on whatever state, county, or city you would like to view. And this will give you information of what contracts are awarded, who was awarded, and the types of products and services purchased. The Federal Acquisition Regulation, also referred to as the FAR, is the rule book for federal agencies and applies to how the government procures goods and services and what contractors can and cannot do in their business dealings with the federal government. You don't have to be a legal expert, but it's wise to familiarize yourself with the FAR. FedConnect is a free marketplace where federal agencies post opportunities and create awards. This portal bridges the gap between government agencies and vendors. Some federal agencies include EPA, DPHHS, Department of Energy, Social Security, and USDA. So this brings us to the end of the presentation. If you would like to take a deeper dive into any of the topics discussed today, please connect with me and I would be happy to assist you. So does anyone have any questions? Okay, well, I would like to thank you for joining us today, and back to you, Sheena.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I am interested. There's some research that I want to do on those sites that you had mentioned about actually diving deep to kind of figure out where the money is going from the government. So, when we send out this recording with your slides, I would love if we can also include a couple of those key links for research. And then, absolutely, we're going to include your contact information because I feel like this is one of those, like I said, one of those questions that my clients are always asking me if it's worth getting the certification. Do I have a product or service that the government actually purchases and invests in? So, very important information today. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And of course, please reach out to Shannon if you have any additional questions or um, want anything to be clarified. Her contact information is here on the screen. And then we will send communication out on our next webinar for this government micro learning series. Thank you, everyone.